original doc, you'll see that it starts with what's called a business model canvas, also sometimes referred to as lean canvas. And that's a way to do a business plan. Instead of taking 3 months or, lots of time, you can do it in 30 minutes or an hour. You just basically put stuff together. But the key to it is in finding product market fit is to be able to get market feedback, to find out whether you've got something the market wants. So it's a great tool, one pager. You put down in bullet points 9 different areas, and then you'll take that out to friends of yours when you're having coffee, and you put it on the table and say, tell me where I'm wrong about this idea. And it's called getting out of the building, and you'll begin to get that kind of feedback. And that's the number 2 side of things. And that's the area that we refer to as engagement research. And and that's the second level that we'll get into after we have our intro section on the business model canvas this next session. By the way, I'm having oral surgery next Tuesday, and it's Labor Day week, so we're not going to have a show next Thursday, but we'll do one probably the week after that.
Yeah.
And then the third area really gets into how social media can support and be the promotional engine for a person's business. And that's why what Martin Shervington is doing with the Academy, is Flush Your Business Academy, can be so powerful, as well as these other things that we'll teach. You don't necessarily need to be a member of Martin's Academy to gain the benefit of this, but I joined this last weekend, and I haven't slept since then because it is so exciting to being able to, Martin brings discipline to a process. And so what we've been able to do I've been able to do, and working with Larry, is pull together a variety of pieces. And that PowerPoint, it's still in draft form, so I apologize about that. But nevertheless, it'll give us a foundation from which to be able to start. So I guess the only other thing I'll say on that is we're real excited about it. Larry's got his green Google shirt on. I've got my red Razorback shirt on because the Hogs play this weekend down at Razorback Stadium, about 20 minutes from here. And then just so you understand the other thing about where I'm coming from on this is really has to do with, sorry, I haven't slept, so I'm flashing a little bit.
That's right.
Really, okay. Just came back to me. One thing to understand is I live in Northwest Arkansas, which is the home of Walmart, and because of Walmart, we're the world's largest concentration of brands. They've got 1,400 what they call Walmart supplier teams here, and they're vendors who sell consumer packaged goods through the Walmart distribution system. And they're teams anywhere from 200 with Procter & Gamble down to a one-man team. So there's one-woman team. So we've got a lot of brands up here, and there's a lot of things that we can do in this space, and we'll all talk about that in the future. But the core thing is start with the basic blocking and tackling, and that's what these 3 areas of the entrepreneur OnRamp are. And we look forward to teaching this. So Larry, tell them a little bit more about fill in the gaps where I left.
The lean canvas approach.
Yep.
Lean canvas. Yeah. The lean canvas method or business model might be new to a lot of people, because when they have an idea and they want to start a business, go and get a loan, the bank will usually say, well, give me a business plan. Or if you're looking to an investor, first thing they say, well, give me a business plan. Well, this lean canvas model is basically a business plan, and you can do it literally in 1 hour or less, compared to a business plan, which will take you months to complete. All right. There are tons of information on Lean Canvas on YouTube, as well as, like I said, Jim is a relative expert on the whole thing. But my first experience was back in 2013, when I took a online course at Stanford. They had an entrepreneurship program. And I enrolled for what I think it was about 6 or 8 week session, and it was great in that it introduced me to this lean canvas model, which is completely new to me. And after I got involved with it, because that was part of the requirement to complete the course, to come up with an idea that you think that would go out and be a business. for what you want. I did the lean canvas based on what I was doing on Google Plus with my cooking show. So I had that as a premise, as an idea, and filled in the panels, because it's a one-sheeter, like Jim said. It's a one-sheeter. You put all your thoughts and ideas, how your value proposition is going to affect your customer. Those are the two highlighted aspects of this lean canvas. Your value proposition is important. So anyway, make a long story short, I did it. I got the experience. I was able to now parlay that later on down when we did help out. So it kind of gave me an idea of how to basically get the discipline to apply this and make a little change on online. And now help out is now defunct because Google ended it. But what it did, and most importantly, it gave me discipline, like I said, because when you have ideas, things are just flowing. You're all over the map. But this sort of harnesses you and forces you to really think things through and put it down as something that would basically make sense, not only to you, but to the person you're presenting it to get money to fund your idea, or a friend or anybody who want to be in partner with you. All right. So
somebody told me one time that everything starts and ends with a spreadsheet, and I would say that if you're an entrepreneur, and even if you're with a big company and you've got a major project going on, everything starts and ends with a plan. And most people don't do it because it's too cumbersome. So one of the things that this does is it really helps. And I want to answer a question. Vivek has a really good one there, that he went through the PowerPoint real quickly and sees there's no call to action. There's really no call to action except your action that you want to take. I mean, what we're going to do is provide a free service. We're not looking to get any money out of this thing. What we want to be able to do is offer something to the business community, and especially entrepreneurs here on social media, a way to be able to get to a point where you can turn an avocation into a vocation, where you can take something that you're really passionate about and then take it in through a disciplined process that's simple. Frankly, it just requires sweat equity from you to come into it. So I appreciate you saying that, Vivek. It's, again, we thrive on feedback, and it's good to get that. So we know now. I'll add that in there. So what we're going to do is, but the call to action really is to ask you guys to take a look at the deck, the presentation, look through it. There's several. I mean, almost everything's clickable links. There's a variety of support documents in there, but your homework, and that's the best call to action. Mm-hmm. Your homework between now and 2 weeks from now is to download the Lean Canvas. I've got it in the PDF format in there you can get, or you may prefer a Word kind of document where it has the 9 areas in a Word doc, and you can put in bullets. And take whatever it is that your business model that you think of, is whatever passion it is that you've got that you'd like to look at, and fill it out. Take 30 minutes. And just quickly put it in there. Don't ponder it. Don't think about it. Don't try to get a whole lot of, but very quickly fill out every one of those 9 areas in bullet form, and then sit back and just stare at it and look at it and put it away. And then polish it up a little bit. And then the next time you've got planning on having a coffee with a buddy, put it down, get a hard copy of it, put it down on the table and say, look, I'm thinking about this idea, and here's what I think the market, the opportunity is. Tell me what you think. Where am I wrong? I mean, you're really looking for wrong, because the idea is you do the 20, 30 minute or an hour exercise to put down these bullet points. And then there's a guy named Steve Blank. He calls it get out of the building. You get away from your own knowledge and get out there into the knowledge of the market and start thriving on feedback, getting people's input that tells you what it is that, in a certain area, for instance, you think that the best channel of communication that you're going to be able to have for this person is to go through this. The primary ones to look at, though, are 2. One is the target market, the market segment that is going to have an interest in whatever it is you have to offer, and that's on the right-hand side. And then in the center is really as much key as anything to go along with that to get to the product market fit. And that's what the compelling value proposition is. What is it that you're offering that's not just a Me Too product, but rather when people say it, they say, that's dazzling. That's really neat. So that's really what we're going to take a look at. And, we're going to come back in in a couple of weeks and may have somebody show their canvas, or heck, we may show you ours. I've got a canvas in there for a project I did about 10 years ago. I showed it as if it were had done the canvas at the beginning of the project, which obviously it didn't. It's just kind of pre-forma. I don't know if there's such a word as pre-forma, but as if we would have done it. A company called Bentonville Software that does Retail Link, Walmart analytics, and I was not in it, so I didn't get much of this. But the company was sold for $10 million last year, so it was a big win. But it'll give you an idea of an example of one that'll kind of give you a template and a pattern of one that's actually completed and see. So, we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But if you'll do your homework by doing your own canvas, and we'll figure out how to go through this. We're not going to do it. They'll be short. So we'll do it all just kind of verbally. And one last thing I'll say is a lot of time, one concern that a lot of people will have is that, I don't want anybody, I've got such a great idea. I don't want anybody to know, it's confidential. If anybody knows about it, they'll do it. Trust me, there is nobody out there who's got extra time on their hands to steal your idea. I mean, maybe there's one out there, but I found out that it's much more difficult getting people to pay attention to me when I've got this great idea. And they all, they look at me like I'm crazy. That's usually the case. I mean, you really, really need to know what the market is, and you want to quickly get out there and start finding out if you're wasting your time, because you don't want to run out of resources before you start to positively cash flow. Larry?
Okay. Well, Jim, it's right about that time. We can go off the record and we could invite folks to come in and chat.